I do want to start here with the Dallas Cowboys and the Dak Prescott situation, which remains unsolved. Unbelievable ineptitude on account of the Dallas Cowboys. And so we're talking about the Cowboys in the morning meeting. And out of the blue, someone hits me with a stat that I had never heard. And when you hear this, it's one of these like knock your socks off moments. Like, whoa, are you sitting down? Folks, the last time the Dallas Cowboys drafted a quarterback in the first round, 35 years ago, Troy Aikman first overall. 35 years. That is absolutely staggering. And in what is an offensive league by far, where a quarterback's the most valuable position, you know, the face of the franchise, the most important position in sports, the Dallas Cowboys have just, not prioritized drafting quarterbacks in the first round. And we've got a list, unbelievable, of the quarterbacks that Dallas has drafted since Aikman. This is it. This is the list. Folks, at what point does the Dallas media start to hold Jerry Jones's feet to the fire? Bill Musgrave, the immortal Isaiah Stanback, who was converted to a wide receiver and caught a few passes. You see Dak Prescott in 2016. But even look, as Dak was having injuries and aging, look at that. You got the last quarterback the Cowboys drafted was Ben Gucci DiNucci. Great nickname. It's 7th round, 2020. Okay? Jerry, this is it. This is all you've done at quarterback since Troy Aikman. And now, lo and behold, you're embroiled in an ugly mess with Dak Prescott, who wants $55, $60 million. Okay? Far be it from me to criticize someone who has, won 3 Super Bowls, in the Hall of Fame. But Jerry, what on earth are you doing? What kind of program building is this? I just don't understand what we're doing. I need the fans to understand Dak's under contract. Yeah, good luck. Dak was a runner-up for MVP award last year. Cowboys have won 12 games each of the last 3 years, and here is Jerry and Dak squabbling. Now, the smart organizations, Jerry, take notes here, they're always drafting quarterbacks. The Green Bay Packers had Brett Favre, spent a first-round pick on Aaron Rodgers. Worked out pretty damn good. Packers also had Aaron Rodgers. They said, let's go take a flyer on this guy, Jordan Love, in the first round. That also. So far, early returns are, nice job, Green Bay. Way to be forward-thinking. They had their squabble with Rodgers. They had their squabble with Favre. But they had a plan in place. Jerry doesn't have a plan. And look at the 49ers. 49ers go to the Super Bowl with Jimmy Garoppolo, lead the Chiefs in the fourth quarter. They blow the lead. They lose. And 14 months later, they draft Trey Lance. They trade up for Trey Lance. Even after getting Lance, they're not done. The Niners went and took Brock Purdy the following year after Trey Lance in the 7th round. They're constantly picking. Jerry, we're good. We got Dak. He's really resting on his laurels. The dude he's a blind man walking around without a cane. That's how desperate Dak and the Cowboys are right now, watching their owner flail around. Listen, Jerry, I think you have no choice at this point but to walk away from Dak Prescott. And I know that's going to be a bitter pill to swallow. And we had Dave Hellman yesterday talking about how unprecedented this situation is in Dallas.
It's unprecedented for your franchise quarterback to not have a deal and also have the leverage to leave if he wants to. And I think that is what people need to remember. This is different because Dak Prescott has a no-tag clause. He's got a no-trade clause. The Cowboys can't keep him there if they don't sign him. So when this season gets going, I think we would all agree it's very rare to see a deal get done in season. So what? We're 2 weeks out from the start of the season, and if Dak doesn't have a deal, you can go ahead and assume he's going to hit free agency in March at the age of 31 with an all-pro to his name, and I just think it's going to be a free agent market that we've rarely seen before.
I slightly disagree on this robust market that Dave and others have talked about, but that's a story for later this season. I just want to remind Cowboys that 2 things are true. Dak Prescott can be, I believe he is a top 10 quarterback in the league, right? That's my belief. I think that's true. I also believe you cannot contend for a Super Bowl paying Dak Prescott north of $50-55 million a year. That's not possible from a team-building standpoint. So Jerry Jones really has himself in a bind here by not drafting quarterbacks. I mean, think about it. 35 years and you've drafted one quarterback in the first round? The only team with a longer drought, according to our staff, is the New Orleans Saints. Okay, is that the company you want to keep, Jerry? Like, come on, dude. You really botched this. Fix the mess. Now let's pivot to the Pittsburgh Steelers. They've got arguably the biggest preseason game this weekend, only because Russell Wilson is trying to win or save or hold on to the starting quarterback job with Justin Fields maybe sort of breathing down his neck. Here's where it gets interesting. So yesterday I kind of went in on the Steelers, got maybe a little antsy, and fired a couple salvos. And my Pittsburgh friends were not happy. These are the kind of friends who you walk in their house and there's a terrible towel prominently displayed. I know the kids like to use the word mid, but this is a mid-off at quarterback, folks. It is uninspiring. I don't want to say downright pathetic because still think Fields has some upside in the right spot. But it is not going well in Pittsburgh. And I want to tell Steelers fans a quick story about this small company you may have heard of called Intel. They were designing and manufacturing computer chips for personal computers dating back to the 70s, and they were utterly dominant. Intel ruled the personal computer space 70s, 80s, 90s. And then smartphones came about. And Intel, this smart company, I'm talking like on the Mount Rushmore of Silicon Valley, Intel said, I don't know about those smartphones. Let's stick with the personal computers. And you know how that worked out. I mean, practically every human on planet Earth has a cell phone at this point, except for my kids. That's about it. But they missed the window on pivoting to smartphones. And that was a huge screw up on the part of Intel. They even more recently missed the boat on AI. They're late to the game. I don't know if you saw the news. Intel laying off 15,000 workers. It's getting bleak over there. And how does this relate to the Pittsburgh Steelers? Well, for close to 3 decades, they have dominated thanks to defense. But the Pittsburgh Steelers, like Intel, missed the pivot to being an offensive league. And for reasons that still remain unexplained, the Pittsburgh Steelers, oldest defense in the NFL last season, most expensive defense in the NFL this season. Mike, what are we doing? Now, I know you're not in charge of the roster. That would be the GM, whose name I wrote down here, Omar Khan. I would like to give some free advice. You know, Colin and I kind of patented J&C Consulting. Jason and Colin. Jason, obviously, first. My idea. It was a free advice. Cowherd is, not here, so I'll just fire this off. If you want to turn things around in Pittsburgh, and there is no end in sight the way this team is built, you have no quarterback for the future, neither quarterback signed beyond this year. Here's a radical idea. Sometimes you need to get radical. I think you got to put TJ Watt on the trading block. And after your heads are done exploding in Pittsburgh, look at TJ Watt just mauling. Is that Burrow? Yeah, he's just destroying quarterbacks. I mean, 3-time defensive player of the year, 29 years old, going to turn 30 soon. I don't know, he's the most popular Steeler. He makes so many incredible plays. Look at that interception, dropping into coverage. TJ Watt can do it all. He is tremendous. So why the hell would you trade him, Jay? You're trading our best defensive player? Because it's not a defensive league. I gave you guys the numbers yesterday. Every playoff game that they've been to and gotten smashed in the last 6 years, they're giving up 30, 40 points. So what's the point of being built around defense? Yeah, trading. Okay, fine. Trade Minkah Fitzpatrick. Fine. But TJ Watt's going to get you 2 1s. Now, listen, I know TJ Watt is beloved. He's going to be probably, you putting together a Pittsburgh Steelers all-time defensive unit, TJ Watt's got to be on there. Historically great player, game changer. And you trade him for 2 1s, even if it's to a team like Atlanta, right? The Falcons seem to be spending all the money on defense. Hey, you have Matthew Judon, Simmons, come on down. Hey, Atlanta, we're all in. I don't know. Who else is all in? Lions, Jets, Eagles. A lot of coaches out there desperate. A lot of teams appear close. The Lions are close to a Super Bowl. Are they a piece away? Now, listen, TJ Watt's going to be pricey. You're talking 2 number 1s at the minimum. But guess what? Pittsburgh needs that desperately. They need the ammunition to go up and draft a quarterback. And much like Dallas, Pittsburgh ain't drafting in the top 10 a lot because they like to hold on to the whole, hey, we're never under 500. Well, a lot of that's got you in the middle. You know what that means. Drafting in the 10 to 18 range, 12 to 20, 21, in that range. You're not getting an elite quarterback that way. They landed Ben Roethlisberger at 11, but they're going to need to go higher to get a quarterback now as it's an offensive league. And Pittsburgh, you missed the pivot to offense. So I know that's going to sound radical. Steelers fans are going to want nothing to do with it. But listen, far be it from me to try to organize your roster and get it, I don't know, up to speed in the modern era. Because, folks, I don't like what I'm seeing in Pittsburgh with this Justin Fields, Russell Wilson quarterback battle. Mike Tomlin praising. Did you hear that after last week? He opened the press conference. I was really happy with our punting. That's a real thing. That happened. That's how unhappy he is with his quarterback situation. And let me just remind you guys, you're in a division with Joe Burrow's offensive-minded Bengals, Lamar Jackson's offensive-minded Ravens, and Kevin Stefanski's been the two-time coach of the year, I think, in the last 5 years. He's an offensive guy. So, Pittsburgh, you can get with the program and put J.J. Watt on the trade block, or you can continue to be mediocre and hang your hat on. We never finish under 500.
Hi, everybody. It's me, Uncle Colin. Subscribe here to get the latest from the herd, including exclusive behind-the-scenes videos and more, wherever you may be, however you may be watching. Thanks again for making us part of your day.